Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing a double page layout. This is 8.5 by 11 of my parents sitting at the dinner table with my grandparents and my great aunt. And my grandpa is not in the photo because he's the one taking the photos. So here I'm showing you the pieces that I plan on using. This is again from the Hearth and Home kit that I split up and distributed what I wanted to use on each layout. The background paper is going to be from Paper Rose, and it's just a plain, like, green mixed media looking paper. And then these orange paper comes from scrapbook.com paper pad. It's 6 by 8. And then the black flower paper is from Simple Stories. The other white cream based color paper that I'm going to use to map the photos is from Mintay. And that was just from a paper pad also. That's a 6 by 8. So here I'm just cutting down my borders. I'm going to place them at the top like this, across the top. And I also have sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps. Again, I'm using cornucopia. And then I have chipboard pieces from Simple Stories and foam pieces. And I believe almost everything will get on the layout except for the stay a while. That yellow piece I end up not using, and I don't use the cut file either. I'm going to use a different foam stickers from the same set, but they say sit, stay a while. And those ones are just black instead, black and white. And I decided to use those instead on the layout, but um, same concept. And then I also pull in a black and white word together. And a little foam sticker that says Home Sweet Home, which is also from the same collection. I just hadn't pulled them out yet and hadn't decided how exactly I was going to do this layout. With so many photos on the layout, I didn't have much room for embellishments, so I wanted to keep it simple. And again, these are older photos, so I just want to keep it simple anyways. So here you can see I'm trying to use the cut file, and I could have used the cut file. It did look okay, but I just decided not to. And I have, 6, 7 photos on the layout, and I did trim 3 of them down to, I believe they're more like 3.5 by 4 inches or so. The original size of the photos is, let's see, let's measure one of them. 3.5, almost 4 inches by, what is it, 5 inches? Yeah, so they're like 3 by 5 photos. And they were printed probably 20 years ago. I have all the original negatives actually to these photos, so they were printed more recently than some of the other older photos that I have. And I did matte. The ones that are on orange, those ones are up on play film. And I just thought those ones kind of are more spotlight photos. My sister's looking at the camera. My mom and dad are all in the one bottom photo. And then the top photo, you can see my great aunt looking over at the baby and smiling. So I just think it kind of shows a little bit more of what was happening at the dinner table. And it also gives your eye a place to look around the layout. And then, um, so those are the 3 photos I'm going to highlight in this layout. And so this is a chipboard piece, and it is sticky, but I'm going to also add liquid glue because, once again, it doesn't stick very well. I added liquid glue and ATG on the foam, the play foam, and that usually holds pretty well. The ATG helps it stick immediately, and then the liquid glue, once it dries, helps it stick permanently, because ATG and play foam really don't mix very well. But when you add the liquid glue, then they work better together. Here this photo I went ahead and cut since there was a space between my aunt and my dad. And again, nobody's looking at the camera in that photo, but it shows the like the room, the plates, the dinner, just everything of that time period. So I really wanted to go ahead and keep that photo in. And then here's my sister making faces at the camera. And she's 3 years old, so she's just hamming it up. You can see where my dad's looking at her in the photo right next to that one. Like, cut it out, Angela. He has a look on his face like, what are you doing? Because she was eating, but obviously then she started playing around because my grandpa was taking pictures. And then I'm just gonna keep adding the photos down and adding this little chipboard flower right here. And that was just some blank space in that photo up there, so it was okay to add that there. And then that was another little yellow chipboard flower that I have. I'm going to cut together so that I can have it on half of the layout and then the other half on the other side. And again, I'm okay with cutting things in half, obviously, including pictures. It just helps me know that the layouts actually go together. And I like working on the 8.5 by 11s as a whole. So instead of working on the right side and then the left side, or the left side and then the right side, I work on them as one complete layout. And that seems to be just the way that I like to do it. Very rarely do I do it where I complete the left and then the right. But for the most part, I usually do it like this. I'm going to start with placing that eye down to give me an idea of where the letters are going to go. I wanted this to fit in the middle of that together so that it wasn't overlapping that, since that is a foam piece. It wasn't going to work if I did it differently. And it actually fits perfectly. Um, and then I'll do FAM on the other side, on the left-hand side. And again, like I said, they're chipboard pieces, but I am adding liquid glue so that they will stay in place. I also added liquid glue to the foam piece that says together. And then I believe, I'm not sure if I do the sit, eat, stay, um, or if I do that after the fact, but it is in the close-ups. And also the home sweet home. The home sweet home piece will go at the top on the right-hand side in between the two photos. And then the eat, or the sit, eat, stay will go right above family in that little empty space. And I don't have any journaling or anything like that for this layout. I will add little tiny printed labels that just say who's in the photos, because besides my two sisters, I'm not sure anybody else would know who's actually in the photos. So that's something that I will definitely add so that we know who is in the photos. In the cornucopia mix, there is a big flower that's kind of like an orangish pink color, but it matches perfectly with the orange paper that I used to map the photos. So I am going to add that in the sequence area, including on top of the chipboard pieces. So I added it on top of the flower and then on top of the little flower bouquet. And that was, again, just to add a little bit orange over that way. And then I'm adding little yellow sequins, green, and a cream color sequence. And then I believe I'm almost done. I don't think I add very much else except for, like I said, the foam letter that says home sweet home, and then the other one that says sit, eat, stay. A minute here, I'm going to fast forward and just fast forwarded through gluing down all the sequins. So here's a close-up of the layout. But again, I am going to add in the last little foam pieces, but I do that after I shut the camera off and decide that it needs something else. And then I will show a few little close-ups here in a moment. There you go. I have the pieces on. I just turned the camera back on, but I had already glued them down. I was just poking that photo back down because it had popped up. And then, so there you can see there's the little foam pieces for sit, eat, stay, and then home sweet home. And then I will have a few close-ups, and then I will have another layout tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be up earlier than today's. I was having issues with internet. We're having a little snowstorm over here in Colorado. So I will have tomorrow's layout up and ready. And then I will have a kit reveal on Monday. So I will see you then. Bye.